Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Tuesday morning? This is Reganelite here. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you had a good Monday. Ready to have a good Tuesday. I really hope you guys are. Gonna be difficult out there, especially with the money right now. Things are gonna get more costly, so I know it's gonna be difficult out there for people. So, especially with the price of oil. And as Dave McGuinness said in his video, the cost of everything else is going to go up. So please take whatever necessary precautions you can to look after yourselves out there, guys, money-wise. And we will be touching on UK storage news specifically here. But for those who are new to this live stream, welcome to Good Morning with myself, Reganelite, here on Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2026. What we normally do, we go for about an hour long. What I do is I give you guys today's daily quote. Have a look at the weather forecast for the next couple of days, and then we have a look at the news. And today we're going to be looking at UK news specifically. We're going to be looking at the websites of the Telegraph, the Times, the Financial Times, the iPaper, the Independent, BBC, Sky News, and the Guardian. That's what we're going to be looking at in terms of news today for this hour here. So, for reference there. And we are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite, and we're also on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. So if you have a Twitch account, guys, for on YouTube, if you have a Twitch account, do consider following me on Twitch as well. I don't know when or if I'm going to do a live stream on there without YouTube. That is something I've thought about doing in the past, maybe just to give it a test, just to kind of see how we do. But it varies there. So let's see who we got in the chat there. Stephen Banker, one of our moderators. Good to see you there, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Sarah Davis from the beautiful, beautiful country of Wales. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well as well. Scott Hayes, good to see you them as well. Mel, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well as well. Billy Kershaw, one of our fellow badgers in the chat. Good to see you there as well. Kirsty, good morning to you. And all in the chat. Can't stay for long. Just stop by and say hi. No worries, Kirsty. Wherever you're doing, hope you have a great day. Thank you for popping in. I much appreciate it nonetheless. I know not everyone can stay and hang around. It's totally understandable indeed. So appreciate those who can stay. Much appreciate it indeed. Right, guys, let's have a look at today's daily quote. Here is today's daily quote. I did say yesterday it was an unknown one. There it is. You might notice I'm being a bit slow, guys. It's because I did the walk this morning. I went out for my walk at 9 o'clock, got back just before 10:30, and I did a couple of episodes of Speaking My Mind episodes. So you've got three. I've got recordings for Speaking My Mind for the next 3 weeks at least for you guys. So that's why my voice is a bit sort of thing, in case you noticed something there. So here is today's daily quote. Make sure I'm a bit closer. So, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. And it's true. That is true. If you don't face something, it's not going to change itself. Sometimes but there's no guarantee that it will change either way there. Interesting one for tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to sharing that one with you guys. But that is today's daily quote indeed. Right, let's have a look at see what the weather is looking like today here. I did say I didn't want to spend too much time on it yesterday. We'll give it a little bit of time today. So let's have a look and see what we got forecast here. So these are the numbers of what we're looking at. We're going to start with North America as we normally do here. We've got Canada here, very, very cold temperatures as low as -27 in Yellowknife and Churchill. And over in Alaska there, you can see Anchorage there at -22. Into North America and still parts of Canada there. Temperatures vary there as well, with Vancouver at 4. Winnipeg a very cold -9. With New York at 20 degrees, Miami 29, Denver 18, San Diego 18 respectively there. The variations of temperatures depending on where you are living in North America. Going a bit further down, you got San Jose 27, Mexico City 22. A bit more into South America here. We've got temperatures as high as 33, with some as low as 12 in La Paz there, with their fair share of tropical weather there. You can kind of see, where the water is building up as well. So they're getting back there as well, interestingly enough. In Africa, we've got temperatures as high as 34, with some as low as 27, 23 actually there from the looks of it there. Little bits of rain there and whatnot, but yeah, the continent doesn't get a lot of rain, to be fair to them. This has always been a problem for them. Moving a bit further over, we've got Auckland 18 and Wellington at 11 respectively here. Down in Australia, temperatures as high as 27 in Darwin, and some as low as 20 in Brisbane, or Perth in 16 there. So fair share of temperatures there. In Singapore there at 26, Philippines 24, Bangkok 29 there, Taiwan there 14 degrees, Tokyo there very cold 2 degrees there, with Beijing at 5 there as well, so low temperatures indeed. Dhaka there at 26 degrees and New Delhi at 23. Kind of a bit further over there, Tehran 7, Baghdad 15, Kuwait City 19, Riyadh at 17 degrees there, with Port Sudan and Khartoum 23 and 28 respectively there. Cairo there at 16 degrees. Before we go to the rest of Europe, what's our friends in Iceland are feeling today? They are at 3 degrees there. They are at 3 degrees. Good morning, Unquiet Badger. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for joining us this morning. Yeah, I definitely need to slow down my voice because it's definitely because of the walk I did this morning. So we got temperature-wise here. Madrid 12, Lisbon 13. We have Tripoli 17, Tunis 15, Algiers 13 there. Pomelo and Rome 13 and 14 respectively there. Nice there at 13 degrees on the south of France. Bern 11. Paris and Brussels very nice 12 degrees each respectively there. Scrolling a bit further over here, it looks like most of Europe is pretty dry. Yeah, most of Europe looks pretty dry here. Athens 13, Taria 13, Istanbul 9, Bucharest 8, Chistu 7, Zagreb 13, Vienna 15, Prague 11, Berlin 11, Warsaw 10, Kiev a bit chillier at 8 degrees there, Moscow 3, Volgograd 3 there, St. Petersburg at 4, and Oslo at just 3 degrees there respectively there. So those are some of the temperatures we've got in Europe. Good morning, Doc Davis. Good to see you there as well. Hope you are doing well. What have we got for the UK here? So temperatures we got at the moment, well, if I scroll it back a little bit, this is what we're expecting. This is what we're forecasting this morning. So most parts of where you are, there'll be a few scattered showers depending where you are, but most of the UK will be dry. But that will change as the day passes on here. Temperatures are not too bad. 11, 12, Edinburgh there and Belfast at 11. But if I scroll it a bit later on here, we can see that Northern Ireland and Ireland do get their fair share of shower coming later on in the afternoon there. If I scroll it a bit further on to 6 o'clock here, you'll start seeing, especially if you're on the west coast of Scotland, as well as you're on the coast of Wales there, you'll start to see that storm coming in there. You will get caught in that in one way, shape or form late on Tuesday evening. So just bear that in mind there. If you are out or if you're traveling or whatnot Tuesday night, just bear that in mind. You are going to be caught in the rain one way or another. If I scroll a bit further on to Tuesday night, you can get to see most of Scotland, most of England, as well as Wales getting caught in that rainstorm there. Temperatures aren't really changing too much there, to be fair. To put on the wind gauges there, the bit higher winds. High winds are expected in Scotland and Ireland there, respectively. Not too bad in other parts of the UK there. If I go overnight and midnight, this is what they're expecting. Again, most of it would have passed by them, but temperatures are going to drop a little bit there. We can see overnight temperatures as low as 7 degrees in some parts, so it's not too bad. There is still some showers overnight, though. There is going to be some showers overnight. Looking at Wednesday morning here, those temperatures still staying at 7 degrees. There will be a slight increase back tomorrow, the next day, up to lunchtime there, 9, 10, 11 and 12 degrees. It looks like there are parts of there will be some shades of snow possible in some of the highlands there. I think we forecasted that forthcoming as well, to be fair. So there may be a little bit of that. There is going to be some slight rain showers here and there, but overall for Wednesday, most of it Wednesday afternoon, most of it will dry off, to be fair. So yeah, most of Wednesday should be a bit of a Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday evening will be a bit of a dry day. Unfortunately, if you're living in this northern part bit more further north of Scotland, central Scotland, in the Highlands and whatnot, chances are you're probably going to encounter some rain. Maybe even some drops depending on where you live in maybe in northern England as well. A few dotted showers as well down a bit further down, but it's not going to be too much of an issue there. Bit later on though, we can see those temperatures for Wednesday night. They've already dropped significantly here, and we got this fair share of rain, this nasty rainstorm coming in here as well. So bear that in mind. Again, rain is coming if you're living in Scotland. Temperatures as low as 6 degrees. It's possible that can drop even further overnight. Doesn't look like it. It actually increases apparently temperature. If we have to look at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is what they're forecasting here. So that rainstorm is not going anywhere. It's going to be hitting most of Scotland, parts of northern England, and maybe some parts of Wales are going to experience it there. We can see it's also going over parts of Northern Ireland and Ireland respectively. Their temperatures aren't too bad from the looks of it again. Thursday morning, again, that rain is not going anywhere. And it does look like that in the higher peaks of the Highlands there'll be some snow falling as well from the looks of it. If we scroll a bit further on, this is what temperatures are looking like Thursday morning at 10, 11, and some parts as high as 8 and 9 degrees there. So again, most of where I am is going to be dry, maybe a bit of cloud. So where I am, and parts of Wales will get away with it in some bits, but Northern England aren't getting away with it too much there, you can say. But it looks like there's going to be some snow forecast for parts of Scotland, in the centre and the north of the country respectively there. Yeah, so if we can go to lunchtime here, Thursday lunchtime, we can see this patch of snow is increasing. How much of that settles will depend, obviously, because the temperatures aren't that cold. It's still 8 degrees in parts there. Let's have a quick nose and just see what the temperature gauges are saying. If we actually scroll in and see what these temperature gauges are saying. Yeah, so how much of that settles is a good question. I don't think a lot of it's going to settle. Maybe in the Highlands and parts, but you can see the temperatures of like 7, 8 degrees. So it's not like freezing cold temperatures there. If we scroll a bit further on for Thursday. Yeah, so this rain is going to be hitting the Midlands and that. This is still sitting around here as well, unfortunately. Temperatures staying as 6 degrees Belfast and Edinburgh. London, Cardiff and Manchester at 11 and 12. And there will be some rain down where I am, but it's not going to be that much in comparison to the north of England, as well as southern Scotland there, and parts of Ireland and Northern Ireland respectively there. And then finally, if we go into overnight on Friday, so we got this coming, guys. So there's going to be a significant drop in temperature overnight Thursday night into Friday morning here. So this is what we're expecting here. So Friday morning for March, yeah, we're still in March and we're still getting some of this cold weather, which is unusual. Temperatures as low as 3 and 2 degrees Friday morning. Manchester 4, Cardiff dropped to 5, London 8 there. So you can see there's quite some significant snow drop in Ireland, Northern Ireland, as well as in Scotland, as well as northern parts of England and southern Scotland. And it looks like there'll be some in parts of Wales there as well. Moving a bit further on though, some of that will dissipate a bit more longer on. For 12 o'clock, this is what we're forecasting again. There will be an increase back up in temperatures for Friday there as well. If I go a bit further on, some of that snow will start dissipating because the temperatures don't really suit it. It's not cold enough. It's not cold enough for them. So while there will be some snow, it's not going to settle that well, I don't feel, because of the temperatures. But it looks like going Friday, we'll just have a quick look at Friday for Saturday here. Saturday night, temperatures going to be very cold again, looking at 4 and 5 degrees. There will be some snow in the northern parts of Scotland there. Most of it is going to be dry though, but temperatures are going to drop quite a bit there. Yeah, that's very cold for Friday night into Saturday morning there. 3 and 4 degrees. But the temperatures jump right back up on for the Saturday lunchtime there. There's going to be a big jump there, and it looks like we're going to be getting a bit of a rainstorm. Rainstorm there. It's only going to, again, unfortunately, Scotland, you guys are going to be getting that there. Parts of northern England are going to get it as well, but it looks like they're going to be getting a bit of rain for Saturday evening. But we'll have a look a bit more closer to the time there. But yeah, some snow is forecast later on in the week. But I'm getting away with it from where I am. Most of the week for where I am is going to be dry. There will be some showers here and there. Temperatures aren't going to be too bad where I am. But if you're living in Scotland, yeah, temperatures are going to drop There is going to be some rain forecast, and there will be some snow coming. How much of that snow settles remains to be seen. But parts of Wales will get a fair share of rain as well. Won't be as bad as Scotland, but they will still get some as well. So that is what we're going to be getting for the next couple of days. So yeah, temperatures are going to be okay for the next few days, but as we get closer to the weekend, they'll start to drop there for reference. Right, let's have a look at some of the news, guys, and see what's going on, what they are reporting here. We're going to start with the Telegraph here and see what they are saying here. This is front of the Telegraph here. So, the new Ayatollah owns luxury flats next to Israeli embassy in London, apparently. Okay, I don't know why that matters, but okay. Britain is preparing to send evacuation ship to the Middle East. Oh, preparing, so we haven't sent an evacuation ship already. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, we need to get these. We've got over 100,000. I think it was like 130,000. Was last reported. I don't know how many we've gotten out of the Middle East since then. But you know, this war is not over. And Trump says Iran war very complete after call with Putin. Putin, just like everyone else, is manipulating Donald Trump, and he really doesn't know what he's doing. It's absolutely insane. He has no idea what he's doing. He's absolutely lost the plot. Lammy says criminals will walk free if you block my jury plans. You cannot back his jury plans. You cannot. More people are going to face more. You're going to put more people in prison, not less. And it's going to be it's going to be more unfair. You can't back his plans. Especially not with the jurors. You can't back it. Heaviest bombers in US Air Force have arrived at RAF Fairford there. Syrian becomes the first person in the UK charged with crimes against humanity. Macron orders unprecedented naval deployment to the Strait of Hormuz there as well. Iran's war chaos squeezes world airlines through the eye of a needle. The Iranian general who always survived is in Mossad's ultimate plant. Iran has already made its first big miscalculation of the war. What are you talking about miscalculation? It's the US who've been making miscalculations from the start. The US bought Havana syndrome weapon from Russian gangs. Wow. Okay. Also says that Putin offers unwavering support to Iran's supreme leader. And this is at the same time while speaking to Donald Trump yesterday. Okay. The Gulf's most precious resources have been drawn into war, and it's not oil, apparently, to them. Okay. Let's have a look at UK news, what they've got there. Farage at the garage. Reform cuts pump prices by 25p. Wow, this seems. Oh my God! Look at the money they've put into this as well. Desperate to show, hey, we will cut your fuel prices. It just feels like This is such intentional there. Reform, refuel. Wow, and that's gonna work with people. Well, even though he's not going to be able to keep that promise, it's going to resonate with people. It's going to turn people's heads. It's going to be like, you know what? They're promising to cut fuel prices, cut pump prices. People are going to back that. Even though they're not going to be able to deliver it. Triple killer charge over murder of Ian Huntley. Reform pledges to scrap heat pump grants. Wet weather leaves drivers cursing potholes hidden in puddles. Labour's VAT raid wealthy parents to abandon private school. I honestly could not care less about private school. MP failed to back the immediate Australian-style social media ban. Yeah, the main reason why they voted down was they needed more consultation. There needs to be more consultation, which I agree there does need to be consultation on it. It's not, the headline is misleading. It's saying that MPs are fully against the idea of banning social media for people. It's not. There is an amendment in it. They want more time to look at it there. I really think that's important. Our justice system is falling behind the world. It serves, says David Lammy. I agree. Pet ducks killed in social media catapult trend. What? What? Why would you? Oh my god! The things people do for likes and views on social media is insane. It's so disgusting. Like some of the things they do, absolutely crazy. Rape victim who identified the wrong man had doubts, but police dismissed them. Labour's budget cuts risk of Britain missing out on the next Einstein, apparently. Yeah, you weren't saying that when the Conservatives were cutting things, was you? The Telegraph. You weren't saying that when the Tories were in power for God knows how long. I wonder why you didn't say anything then. Good morning, Martin. Hope you are doing well there. Sorry if I didn't say hello earlier. Hope I haven't missed anybody in the chat. I have not. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the Times, guys. See what they're saying here. Starmer faces one of the biggest rebellions over the jury trial cuts. Yeah, I've got to, I'm not in favour of what they're doing to jury services. I'm not. If they did an amendment that didn't affect jury's service, then it'd be my position would be different. But yeah, can't have that there. Anti-Muslim hostility policies risk splitting society, Labour have been told. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. Trump's war is very complete, and it's not complete. Stop buying into that. MPs vote to reject social media ban for under 16s. Again, it's not a ban on it, it's an amendment. The context really matters there. Polanski held informal talks with Labour backbenchers. We touched on that yesterday. Organisers of controversial London demo praise Ayatollah as a role model. I've said this here, and I've said this before, and I've said this again. This is about, I don't believe in their support for the Iranian regime, but I also believe in the right to free speech and protest. Starmer Reeves wage war of words on the cost of living. Reeves is trying to protect her budget, and Starmer is trying to protect his job. So that's kind of why they're at loggerheads with things right now, and I don't blame them. Starmer and Streeting face local election defeat in their own backyards. Yep. Well, West Streeting was very fortunate to hold on to his position there. We've got inflation is falling again. It's at 3% there. Annual changes in consumer prices is what they've got at the moment, what they're forecasting so far there. Mel, thank you so much for the 65 SCK there. Rip Ducks. Rip Ducks? No, Quackers is here. Quackers is here. Quackers is here. Hold on. I need to move my foot. I've got my... I'm sitting with my legs... I'm sitting with one of my legs crossed, and I'm going to keep hitting and put my leg down. There you go. Quackers is here. Quackers is here. There you go. Quackers is here. As is the rest of the gang. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the first ones of the day. Thank you. It's going to go up more than that. It'll come down naturally by that amount. It's like Tesco's having a £1 item, raising it to £2. They offer it at £1.50 with a club card. You think you're getting a bargain. Yeah, these prices, for me, the price rises that we're getting, it's not going to go back down. This is the thing. They always, whenever it goes to rising prices, they never, sometimes it'll freeze or it slows down the raise, but it never stops. It never stops. So people who are already struggling, they're going to struggle even harder. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's really, really brutal. Unemployment still at 5.2%. That's UK unemployment rate between 16 to 64-year-olds. But youth unemployment is a lot worse than that. It's worth pointing out there. Those are old stories. I'm pretty sure I've seen them before. Cabinet revolt to Fresh Rose Starmer's digital ID scheme. Health and Education Chief declined to share records with the planned government app, complicating efforts to create a single way for people to verify identity. Yeah, people are not in favour of it. I was a Hong Kong activist. What's the delay to my British citizenship? Yeah, that's a good question. What is the delay to that? That is a good question. Shabima Mohammed's mission is muddied by history. I'm not taking anything from Trevor Phillips here. You cannot trust that man. He's not. I would not consider him his analysis piece. I would say someone like Lewis Goodwill is probably a lot more interesting to listen to than him. For sure. Teenagers to be offered V levels to learn vocational skills. Farage seeks to reclaim economic agenda despite Iran's squabbles. Police Federation risks covering up claims by not suspending arrested CEO. That's very worrying indeed. And there's you can see there the current crude oil prices, $1 per barrel there. Currently at 80. It went as high as yesterday as $98. Currently it's sitting at 86.19, but that fluctuates very much, all because of this war. Thanks, Donny. Thanks, Donny. We're all a lot better because of it. Line bikes could disappear from another London borough. I'm very much in favour of the bikes. Like, the system they have is crap. For the bike system they have is crap. Because they just get dumped everywhere. Like, the idea is good, but they need to tweak it, because it's not, because what I cannot stand is I've had one of these bikes sitting outside our house on the side after it's been dumped. That's one thing that I just cannot stand. There needs to be like you need to have a system for it where if you use it, if you pay to use it, right, if you take it back to a place where you charge it or back it to its allotment, right, you should get money back for it, because that will encourage people to go back and put it back where they used an allotment. It doesn't have to be the same allotment, but another one in the London borough. If they did something like that, that would incentivize their kids to stop dumping them, because they would get some of their money back. Like you pay, like let's say I don't know what the price is, but let's just say hypothetically you paid £1 to use it, right? You get 50p back if you get 50p back if you put it back in one of the allotments, the bike, rather than just dumping it. You know, something like that. I'm not sure how it would work it, but if you incentivize people to bring it back. This has been thoroughly covered by David McGuinness on his show that Glasgow Central Station remains closed after devastating fires. Disruption is to last days there. City suffers another kick in the teeth. It's not, look, nobody died, which is the main thing. And, you know, whether I think they'll make significant changes to the structure, which they will do. But, you know, cities come and go. You know, they never stay the same. They always change. Trans doctor leaving the NHS is a shame. Britain's first astronaut nervous about the upcoming moon mission. What else is there? Police to urge to investigate offshore fund links to Andrew. Why are we not doing that? Answers on a postcard, please. AI could spot a quarter of breast cancers doctors miss on scans, apparently. Yeah, I'm not fully behind an AI doing what a doctor can find, if I'm perfectly honest. I think the AI should be used as an assistant for a doctor, not as the primary discretionary there. But it can be used to help spot things there. Chat GPT listened when my GP didn't. Why women turn on AI on health? That's concerning. Daily multivitamins could help a slow aging process, apparently. Very interesting indeed. Universities versus lockdown students, 230,000 claims are on their way as well. That's education there. That's just some of the stories there from the Times. Very interesting indeed. You better not hurt any ducks, says to me to Mel. Yeah, I'm not. I don't hurt the ducks. No, I sometimes feed the ducks down in the park, not too far away from me. If I ever have any seeds on me, you know they have. There's a park not too far away from me called Kelsey Park. It's a really, really lovely park, and they have a park. They have on one side of the river. They have and they have basically the parks. They have a river that runs right in the center of it, and they have two sides basically of this park. And on one side, there's no dogs allowed. So basically, squirrels and ducks and geese and all that kind of stuff, they're allowed to roam free on that side because they have gates on both sides of the park and going out to the residential. So, and it says explicitly no dogs allowed in this area. And so the animals can roam freely amongst the humans there, whereas they can't really do it on the other side because dogs will chase them. And it's really nice because then kids can get get up close with the animals a little bit more, which is nice. And there's actual like feeder things, so you can get the food, the necessary food for the animals as well, which is also nice. It's great for the kids. It's great for the kids, for sure. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been to that park though, because it is quite a walk to it. I do need to do it, go back there and have a look and see what they've been doing, because one of the bridges has been broken there for quite a while, and the council still hasn't fixed it. I wonder if I'll have to see what progress they've made on it there. Right, speaking of progress, what's the FT up to? So, front of their UK tab for Financial Times says, Reform UK says it would reverse fuel duty increase and scrap net zero initiatives. Nigel Farage set to announce spending cuts with claimed savings to the government of £13.5 billion a year. This is nonsense. These numbers do not add up. Nigel Farage is not going to save people money, but the problem is that he's painting the picture that we are going to make things cheaper for you. And the problem is people are going to believe it so gullibly, because they have so little faith in Conservatives or Labour that they're willing to vote for Nigel Farage. And regardless of what you think about that stunt they pulled with the petrol and whatnot, that's going to appeal to people. That's going to appeal to drivers, even if they're not keen on reform. It's going to appeal to them. I don't like it in any way, shape, or form, because I don't feel that they're going to do anything for them. But it's gonna appeal to them, and that kind of appeal works. Because to some people it's like, I don't care about politics. I just care about how much I pay for petrol at the pump, and if it means that that Nigel Farage is going to bring that down, then I'm going to vote for it. That's going to be the mindset of some of these drivers, even though they're not actually going to be able to do it. Middle East crisis likely to push UK inflation up, Rachel Reeves tells MPs. We've said yesterday. Conservatives have called for the Chancellor to halt planned rise in fuel duty. Waste management and recycling is good business. How London became an energy from waste capital. Expansion will turn Thames-side Valley into Europe's biggest, but critics say it will discouraging recycling and cause air pollution there. David Lammy will meet Rebel MPs over cuts to jury trials. The Justice Secretary faces a backlash as courts and tribunals bill the returns to Commons for an important vote today. The British aircraft carrier will not be sent to the Middle East, said officials. The move follows Trump's criticism of Starmer for supposedly wanting to join Iran war after it had already been won. The war is not over. This is not over, guys. There's a petition in the chat. Thank you, Stephen Banker, for sharing that. A legislation crimes motivated by misogyny as hate crimes there. Do have a read and sign if you can for me. Stephen Banker, if you can, send that to me on Discord as well. Either ping me or put it in the general chat just so I can have it there as well. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you for sharing that. UK ministers urged to deliver on infrastructure projects as pipeline tops 700 billion. The government is accused of failing to get major schemes off the ground. Yeah, UK infrastructure is really slow. They need to move on with that. And we covered that story yesterday. Nigel Farage's stake in Bitcoin company there as well. What else is there? Is the Green Party too radical for Britain? Yeah, but you can ask the same question about reform. Is reform too radical for Britain? Like, I don't agree with the analysis that the Green Party are extremists. I think that's a bit folly. Are they radical with their policies? Yes, but so are reform. But reform's policies don't come with a bit more concrete to their policies. Let's have a look at the front of the finance of the FT here, the homepage. Saudi Aramco to restore 70% of normal crude oil exports within days, apparently. The chief executive, Amin Nasser, warns of catastrophic consequences for oil market if the Iran war drags on. Israel expects Lebanon offensive to outlast Iran conflict. Kamagami Maradon narrative smooths path for Sun's rise. White men will have fewer board seats in future, says UK Diversity Chair. Lego Chief hits out a Danish wealth tax proposal. Hey, if you can pay the tax, what's the problem? If you can pay the tax, what is the problem? Well, you don't like paying a bit more tax, yeah, because you've got a lot of money. Too bad. Good on the Danes. I haven't read the story, but it comes across to me as a filthy rich guy complaining about paying more tax. That's how it looks to me. Co-founders behind pioneering COVID vaccine step down from biotech. Bill Ackman perishes Square files for US IPO there. We've seen that story already. Britain's safety net isn't set up for widespread job shock of there. Europe and Asia battle for LGN as Iran war chokes supply. Oil price surges. Yep. Japanese Prime Minister puts her honeymoon at risk. She was gonna go on a honeymoon. Maybe she's not going to there. Looks like. Exclusive from the Financial Times. Goldman pitches hedge funds on strategies to bet against corporate loans there. Exxon Mobil joins corporate migration to Texas amid investor activism battle. Board game maker to be the first private company traded under UK PISA system there as well. Interesting. Iran is a crucial test case for the American way of war. And just some other stories they've got here. How job cuts in the AfD fuel Germany's far-right alternative union. They got exclusive their stand chart to double number of Singapore bankers serving wealthy Chinese there. 2 accountants probed over visceral financial forecasts. And we've seen that story already. Farage misses out on Trump meeting as their relationship cools. I thought Farage had the meeting with Trump. Did he not have it then? I don't recall seeing a photo of the two of them together. So did they have a meeting or did they not? I thought they didn't. FT saying there that they didn't. That doesn't seem right there. Person impersonator, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. And drops there on Twitch. Was for social media likes, says Mel. Steven Banker highlighting Wichigoff and Daily Blase's YouTube channels in the chat there. Putin speaks to Trump. Trump speaks to Farage. And Bannon, the golfer, runs for the lot of them there. Signed. Thanks, Sarah, for signing that petition. Appreciate it. Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the iPaper, guys. Let's see what the iPaper is saying for us here on Tuesday. With some very expensive chairs there. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good with the chairs, thank you. I'm fighting reform surge in Wales. Farage wants to use us to get into number 10. Yep. Plaid Cymru's leader says Russia is exploiting voters in Wales while Labour has a sense of entitlement. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. That is a very good way of putting it, actually. Yeah, because reform's best attack lines are immigration. And obviously being against net zero. And it's just like, what are you doing exactly to make people in Wales' lives better? And Labour have been in power in Wales for a very, very long time. Very, very long time there. Trump dismisses Starmer's Iran plea in stormy call. An exclusive there. Farage plans for local election triumph faces being derailed by tactical voting. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are looking to tactically vote out the reform there to keep them out. Dorilio style lessons could be rolled out to people who can't speak English, apparently. It's very popular. I should try the app then, to try and speak a different language there. Good morning, Wichigoff. Hope you are doing well there. Fuel duty hikes could be axed as drivers faces paying £1.50 a litre for petrol. Mandelson can keep his peerages until at least May as government delays reform. Why delaying reform? Mandelson should just give it up himself. It's disgusting that he hasn't done it himself there. Wichigoff says at Reganelite, no, Frogage didn't get anywhere near Mar-a-Lago. He was kept an hour away from some other property. He's so full of crap. So he never even got to speak to Donald Trump. So he never even got to speak to him. Again, he got denied. Like, idiot. Like, why even go there if you're not even going to get, if you're not even guaranteed to speak to the president? Why? After Andrew's arrest, voters demand transparency over royal funds. Yeah, you're not going to get that. We should do, but we're not going to get it. We should do. Oh, he had a meeting with Dumpty. Would have been, if he had a meeting, Dumpty would have been all over social media. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, he would have overhyped it there. BBC World Service on a funding cliff edge, and Putin is waiting. Russian propaganda set to fill the void as BBC International broadcast facing funding crisis. BBC World Service needs to survive. It needs to survive. Like, that is so important, the BBC World Service. It's so important that the World Service is looked after. Man, the government must not let that fall. They must not let that fall. It's a very, like, I know people have criticisms of the BBC, and rightfully so. But I think it's very, very good when it comes to international on the international stage. Really, really do there. Think your electric car will shield you from the fuel rise? Think again. Yep, it's not going to shield you. You are going to face an increase one way or another. Trump demands the head of Iran's new leader. This is the mission to kill him, apparently. The Epstein scandal. The clues in the Epstein photo identify Andrew, and they tell you. Yeah, so there was a photo. I've seen the new photo of Andrew with a underage girl on his lap, which is very, very uncomfortable to see. MPs reject the proposed ban on social media for under 16s. Again, it's an amendment. They're not saying no completely to it. Really important context to add there. Any other stories here we haven't seen here? Nope. Tried fiber lane, the latest hack to improve gut health and cholesterol there, according to the health. World news. UK warship faces new delay and won't reach Cyprus until at least this weekend, apparently. Yeah. People kicking off about that there. Good morning, Joe. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for popping in there. Appreciate it. Davey, my non-verbal son was denied speech therapy because he could swallow. The Lib Dem had to fight for support for his son's needs, and fears new EHCP plans won't work for children with complex conditions. We had a good, lengthy discussion about this yesterday for people who didn't see it. We did discuss this in chat. I do recommend checking out the viewpoint yesterday if you didn't see it. And it's been timestamped, so you can go straight to the conversation, because I do think it's very interesting indeed. Yeah. Yeah, if he had to face, I don't know how much he would get, how support he would get, now with the new system. Well, when the new system comes in, yeah. I'm glad that Davey's going to call it. I'm expecting him to call out on it tomorrow, the PMQs. Expect him to. I'm quitting the US after Trump called my climate's work a hoax. It will make sense. No point being there. It's just there's no point being there. They're not, they're very much against climate stuff. Very much against it. If anyone can support in any way towards today's Super Chat goal, be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Mel, for your Super Chat earlier. If anyone else can help contribute towards today's goal, be greatly appreciated. Obviously, if you can't, best way to support me is just hitting that like button if you can. Leaving comments down below and sharing across social media, all that good stuff really helps support the channel if you can. Let's have a look at the Independent, see what they're saying here. I'll have a look at that story in a second. UK energy prices dip, unlikely to be the last word in the fuel crisis latest. What does it mean for your money as the price of oil falls back to $90? So the reason that, my understanding this is because Vosh covered it on his video, because he's obviously more into the American politics than I am. So my understanding is that they're talking about opening up the reserves, which would keep the oil back down for a little while, but they don't really want to rely on reserves. That's the thing, to keep the global markets calm. So because they've talked about it, that's why the oil fell back. Let's have a look at this story here. Teenage Reform Council leader faces no confidence vote. Yeah, he was appointed leader last year. So Teenage Reform Russian Council leader is facing a vote of no confidence after opponents claimed that he brought the authority into disrepute. Oh, okay. George Flynn became the UK's longest ever council leader when he was appointed to run Warwickshire Council. Now, so he's facing ousting from his position. The council's Green Party leader has called for a vote on Mr. Flynch's role next week after claiming he abused the office of leader. Oh dear. Councillor George Flint has abused the office of leadership time and time again. He brought Warwickshire into disrepute, he told The Independent. He's repeated attacks on staff, partner institutions, and used the leader role for consistent, cheap, and nasty political point scoring is unacceptable. He has ignored the express will of the elected council on more than one occasion. He is breaching the British values that we all hold dear: fair play, rule of law, and basic decency. Reasons given for bringing the motion forward, including claims made by Mr. Flynch last year that police had held back information about alleged rape of a 12-year-old girl. Mr. Shivels added, as Greens, we cannot continue to stand by and let our British democracy be attacked and Warwickshire undermined. We are therefore bringing forward a motion to remove him as leader on March the 17th. March the 17th. That's the... hold on a sec. What day is that? That's funny. I think that was the same day The Simpsons predicted that Donald Trump would die as well. Interesting. Coincidence? I think not. He told the BBC that the motion was a political stunt. Those trying to remove me have offered no alternative council plan and no credible answers to what replaces the work underway, he says. Yeah, the residents can see what is happening. This is not a serious alternative administration. This is an anti-reform blog held together by opposition to this administration and the change Warwickshire voted for. The Independent has contacted Reform Russia and Mr. Flynch for a comment. He became leader of the council, after previous leader Bob had quit 41 days into his role. Yeah, he's only 19 years old, this guy. Teenager faced some strong controversy since becoming leader, having called sixth form a complete joke and said it only helps young people develop a woke mindset. This is this right? Look, I think we discussed this at the time when he was appointed, because we said that he was very young for the role, and there was questions about whether should a 19-year-old be allowed to be in such a role. I would say yes, that if you have the my position at the time was, and I still stand by that position is that if you have some experience in being a counsellor of some sorts, right, even if you have a little bit of experience, helps there with him. But he's had no experience and he's gone straight into this big role. There is that message of sometimes you need to throw people into the deep end to see how they swim. But this guy doesn't sound like he's doing a lot whatsoever for the people there. You know, when you're a leader, you've got to help. You've got to think about what, you've got to take other parties on board. You can't just take your own. He also risks being found in contempt of court last after making a statement during a press conference in London about the alleged rape of a 12-year-old girl. The youngest county leader in the country claimed that there has been a cover-up of details about the case after police charged 2 men in connection with the offence. The Constable of Warwickshire Police later responded to Mr. Finch's claims, sharing the letter addressed to the council publicly. Letter stated the force did not and will not cover up such criminals, and explained it did not release immigration status at the point of change in line with national guidance. Yeah, that was not very ideal as well. Interesting. So, 17th, so it's going to be very interesting to see how he does there. When is my next Reform Watch series? It's not going to be till the 30th of April, though. That's a long way off. Interesting indeed. That is for sure. Social media ban for under 16 rejected after Commons vote. Yeah, it's really, really important here for people to understand this here. So a proposed ban has been rejected by MPs despite immediate calls for an immediate block from campaigners of aggrieved parents. So MPs voted 307 to 173, majority 134 against the ban, which was proposed proposed in an amendment to the Children's Wellbeing School Bills by peers. Instead, parliamentarians supported a government bid to give additional, more flexible powers to ministers that would be enforced depending on the outcome of the consultation launched this week. Under the amendment in lieu, Technology Secretary Kendall could restrict the ban on children from certain ages from accessing social media services and chatbots. She also could limit children's VPN use, restrict access to addictive features, and change the age of digital consent in the UK. The age limit modelled on an Australian-style ban was supported by those who argued parents face an impossible position regarding online harms affecting their children. Ahead of the vote, 23 parents whose children lost their lives due to social media are urging MPs to reject the government's consultation and instead back the default block proposing the law to prevent further delays. Parents were joined by a collision of organisations, including the National Education Union, Mumsnet, health professionals, and safer screens and safer screens and safe screens, who also called for MPs across Parliament to back an immediate ban. Lord Nash, who stood the proposed default ban, the law said the government's changes would only give big tech companies time to mobilise against such action. However, critics such as the NSPCC warned such a ban could instead drive teenagers to unregulated corners of the internet. Yes, this is why I agree with this is why I agree, and I'm glad the NSPCC has called this out. This is why I'm in agreement of rejecting the outright ban straight away, because we haven't had enough consultation on this, and we need to have more consultation on this. You know, just because, and it's really, really important, just because Australia are doing it and it seems to be going okay, doesn't mean to say it will definitely work here. We still need to, I am in favour of it, but I feel there needs to be more consultation. This online certification launched last Monday explores several themes, including whether social media platforms should come with a minimum age requirement, whether platforms should switch off additional features such as autoplay. I'm 100% in agreement in the autoplay button being left on. That should definitely be allowed. There should always be an option to switch that off. You can do that on X. You cannot do that on Instagram or on Facebook. I don't like that at all. That's definitely something that should be switched off. Vowed to create a digital world gives young people Many parents can go for outright ban. Others, including children's charities, warned that a blanket ban could drive children towards less regulated corners of the internet, or leave teenagers unprepared for what they do when they come online. Yeah. This is why last week the government launched a consultation to seek views to help shape our next steps to ensure children can grow on a safer, healthier, more enrichment relationship with the online world. The consultation will look at whether social media platforms should come, minimum age requirement, and whether platforms could switch off additional addictive features such as audio play. Labour MPs for Hayes and Harlington, John McDonnell, rebelled against the government on Monday in voting in favour of the Lord's amendments. So they say you should go straight for it now, they feel. Parents like me are locked in a daily battle and they simply cannot win alone. Fighting platforms have been specifically designed to keep children hooked. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. As a pharmacist, if a drug were causing such immeasurable harm for 78%, it would be withdrawn, reformulated, or placed underneath a counter strict controls on those who could access it. We would act because that's what the evidence demands. The same logic must apply here. We have an unidentifiable source with overwhelming evidence of harm. We have the power to act. Yeah, we do have the power to act, but I also believe it. Look, I generally mean this. There should be a bit more consultation. I'm with. Look, I know people aren't gonna like this, but I'm a bit more in favour of the government's position on this. That they need to do more consultation on this. I know it's hurting people. I know it's affecting people. I understand that criticism, and that is fair criticism. It really, really is. But I also think more needs to be looked into this. Rayner seeks assurances on juries as Lammy meets Labour levels. I don't trust David Lammy there whatsoever when it comes to jurors. Labour MPs raised concerns over government immigration policy changes. Why aren't renewables better from protecting UK from energy price shocks? How the UK gas addiction is keeping bills high despite the rise of wind and solar. Furthermore, almost completely Goldman Sachs has warned the price of oil could jump as much as $150 per barrel, £122 by the end of March, hitting British consumers and businesses hard. Meanwhile, natural gas in Europe has rocketed by 40%, with an Iranian drone striking Qatar's biggest liquefied natural gas plant. Came from the LNG. As war continues, strike depots in Tehran. Breakdown is supply is poised to send UK gas prices soaring, with experts warning that Britain is particularly susceptible to price shocks, partly because it has so little storage capacity of its own. UK still relies heavily on gas, with around 30% of the nation's electricity coming from gas-fired power stations, far more than Germany 70% or France just 3%. And more than 70% of British homes rely on it for heating and many for cooking as well. This is dependent on fossil fuel lease households, especially exposed with international markets turning volatile. On Friday, UK gas reserves were sitting at just 18% of their capacity, according to new data published by Natural Gas. And so warns that the annual household bill could rise up by £500. The conflict continues. Over 25 renewables left by wind supply, more than UK's electricity than any other source, making up 47% of the total, followed by gas. However, UK's energy price remains extremely vulnerable to global gas prices. Even though the North Sea provides some gas, the price it sells is set by the international market, so it has practically zero impact on gas prices, which is why I've said this before. We should take control of the North Sea resources. We should take it out of the international market's hands and put it in our own, because that way we are protected to a certain extent. It should not be controlled by the international markets. We should control it. We should control it. The major regional electricity bills could rise due to UK's marginal pricing model, which means that electricity prices are almost entirely dictated by gas prices. Yeah, which is insane. This increasing controversial system means the coziest power source needed at any time, which is almost always gas, sets the price for all electricity on the grid. Even when cheaper renewables are supplying the majority of the power, gas demanding that market around 98% of the time, household bills in Britain are acutely exposed to swings to global gas markets. It's not good. Not good indeed. That's very concerning. Let's have a look at the front of UK here. Snow weather coming up for Scotland in particular later on in the week. Water firms are prevented from increasing bills as much as they wanted, apparently. Yeah, but if they were nationalised, they'd be a lot better. Residents face shock £100 fines from Waitrose. A resident faces shock £100 fine just for driving home. What? The hell was that story? Daily multivitamins could slow body's biological clock, study has suggested. Coin used to pay for bus in Leeds found to be 2,000 years old. Hungary's Orbán orders authorities to hold some 82 million in seized Ukrainian cash and gold. He's so desperate. The UK doesn't have only 2 days of supply of gas left. Yeah, I'm getting contradictions about this story. Government ministers criticised the dangerous scaremongering following claims that Britain has just 2-day gas to store despite threats of disruption to the US-Iran conflict here. Reports emerged after analysis of natural gas. Yeah, people are saying that we are going to run out of gas in 2 days, though. So, I guess we'll find out in 2 days whether that's going to be true there. What else we got here? Any other interesting stories? Turning Point USA. Stony Maga. Yeah. Not going to cover world news. We'll cover that tomorrow here. Got about a couple of minutes left. Let's have a quick look at the BBC, see what they're saying here. We're covering UK news specifically, drops here today. We're going to look at world news tomorrow. Thousands of lawyers oppose a jury restriction plan, which makes sense. The cost of living is catapulted centre stage yet again. The Prime Minister warns of impact of Iran conflict on the UK economy. And Peter Jack called for the ban of social media. MSPs prepare for final amendments to the Assisting Dying Bill in Scotland. Be interesting to see how that vote goes. Legal costs in asylum seeker hotel cases to hit 566k. Fighting to stop asylum seekers being housed at the Bell Hotel in Epping has cost the council £566, the BBC can reveal. I said they should have moved them out of the bloody hotel. I said this ever since that first incident. It's bloody stupid they haven't moved them out of our hotel. And look what it's cost. Look what it's cost. Over £500,000 has been wasted on this. Move them out the... Look, you're not going to change the fact that people in that area think the people in the area think everyone who lives in who is in those hotels are all the same because of that incident. It just makes sense to move them out. Legal cost. The legal cost, guys. Just the legal cost. Spokeswoman said it continued to contest this decision in the interest of local residents in Essex towns. Yeah. The legal bill representing 2.64% of the local authorities, 21.4 billion for the 2026-27 financial year, and it's costing the council as well. It returned to court on Thursday as it attempted to appeal against the High Court ruling. Lawyers for the council have argued, which is owned by the Bell breaching planning laws by housing asylum seekers. Jesus Christ. I hate that. I hate it. I really, really do, guys. It's 12 o'clock, so that's just before we head out. Unfortunately, I only had one super chat today, but I do appreciate it, Mel, nonetheless. I know it's going to be difficult for people now. It's going to get more difficult for people out there. Glasgow Station remains closed. Rape victims get specialist legal advice in court. Inmate charged with the murder of Solomon killed Ian Huntley. A prison inmate's been charged with the murder, police have said. First V-level subjects announced with the aim to prepare for future jobs. Joey Barton arrested after assault near golf club. Why is this guy still around? Why is he not Yeah. Problem he is. He's a problem. I'm in consistent pain. That's in Northern Ireland. Thousands lawyers. Yet we know about that. I thought my unborn baby had died in an e-bike crash there as well. Some of the stories there. Okay, guys, we're going to have to leave it there because we've hit 12 o'clock. Like I said, we only got up to 12 o'clock, as you guys know. I just want to say a massive thank you. Thank you very much for everyone who came along today. Thank you, guys, for all your comments. It's nice to see quite a fair few people here today. Really appreciate you people coming out. As you guys know, I don't monetize my live stream, so I do appreciate the super chat, Mel. So it's not been completely for nothing there. Guys, just a reminder, I'll be back live tomorrow at 11 o'clock for not just Good Morning Show, but also for Prime Minister's Questions. So if you want to join me for that, feel free to do so. If you can't make it for that, I'll be live tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening, guys. No afternoon or evening stream today, just for reference. Whether or not I'll, in terms of videos, guys, it depends how I do with my throat. I'm going to be recording some videos today anyway, guys, so I have to record some videos. As you guys know, I haven't recorded any Patreon Rumble videos, and I do want to try and get good news and funny videos done, so there's a lot of work for me to do today, so I'm going to try and catch up on much of that as I can. So I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to crack on. So thank you guys all for coming along, and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're planning. But on your way out, if you can, hit the like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out some of the short videos if you can as well. I know the algorithm has not been very helpful to me, so if you can help out on the short videos in any way, shape or form, if you can, check them out. Leave a comment down below, all that kind of stuff really does help there, guys. If you can, would be greatly appreciated as well. Stephen Banker, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. There. I know people are worried about the fuel prices, so I know it's rough. It's a bit difficult right now for people. So no, it's not wasted, Mel. Any support makes a difference. Like I said, I don't get any money whatsoever from monetization because I don't monetize my live streams. The only monetization I get is from videos and shorts, and they're not a lot. So thank you, Stephen Banker, for that £2 super chat. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you all very, very soon.